Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Welcome to today's session. Today is technically March 14th Asian session, so March 13th officially, but it's part of March 14th trading day. We're doing a quick recap of my Asian session trade as well as my New York session trade. Market opened about 2.5 hours ago, and as I'm looking, I'm not really sure if I want to sell or buy, but I'm gonna go ahead and mark up all my levels. I like to mark up the open, high, low, and close of every candle within the last few days on the daily, and go from there. Okay, so I'm looking now. I finally made a decision after a while of not being sure if I wanted to buy or sell or if the direction was clear to me. So I decided to first take a sell. It looks like it wants to sell. It's just, maybe doing a quick full tilt pullback. But, looking now, I can almost see that maybe my immediate move should have been a buy. I'm not sure. When I took this trade, I was so clear it was a sell. I was almost certain, yes, it looks like market wants to continue dropping and pull back a bit. But now that I'm looking, I'm seeing that double bottom on the 15 minutes. And quite frankly, I should have gotten confirmation, but I didn't. And that's okay. That's why I do this, to kind of look back and see. Anyway, I believe this first trade was a loss. I went down in the 5 minutes, and I was very convinced that, okay, I'm in the right trade. It looks like it wants to continue down. And it does go down for a little bit, but then it pulls back and I believe hit my stop loss. Something else that I did was adjusted my stop loss based on what I saw in the 5 minutes, just to reduce my risk, because I am going in with 5 contracts, and with evals, I kind of tend to go a little heavy, just to get them passed as quickly as possible. So one of the first changes I had made earlier to my ATM strategy, which is why it shows custom on the right side, was I reduced my risk. Usually I do about 100 ticks stop loss, but this time I reduced it to about 60 ticks starting. And then I also set it to not trail, just because I believe I wanted to give it room. But either way, reducing my stop loss on the 5 minutes when I saw it was probably a good thing, because price took me out. I also set my TP at a point where I believe if it hits my TP, the eval would have been passed in one trade. But clearly it didn't. But we'll also see more as we go along. Oops, I just looked up now and realized stop loss hit. It's better to wait. At this point, I'd stepped away thinking my trades will hit, blah, blah, blah. As soon as it moves down some more, I'm going to manually trail it. But no, that didn't happen, because market decided to go back up. And at this point, I'm not in front of my computer, but I could see what price was doing on my phone, and couldn't get here fast enough to change it. So it is what it is. And I believe I ended up losing, that trade. Needless to say, I ended up losing that set of evals, and I knew that was a chance, of course, going with 5 contracts. It's not unexpected, I should say. And now at this point, this is where when market pulls back, you're like, damn, I should have closed. I had the opportunity to close, but I didn't. Even if take profit a little bit, but I don't do that, not on evals, and not really. I try not to do that because I carry that over. I don't want to stress over my trade. If I missed it, I missed it, and I blame it on myself for poorly managing it. And that's it. And I look for ways to get better. So I was able to reset 3 of the accounts, which is what we came into New York session at trade this morning. And I chose to reset 3 of them instead of the 5. And I'm going to kind of play around with the last 2 and as I want. So we are now in New York session. It is 8:07 in the morning. About a few minutes before market opens, I see the market dropping and I take a sell. Because it's a trailing drawdown, I don't want to deal with too much pullback. So I often will close if I feel like the market is kind of playing around a little bit on me, just because each point is $100 and just 10 points pullback, that's nothing to NQ, will end up being me losing 1,000 of my trailing drawdown, and that can be detrimental on an eval or really on any account. But I don't do these crazy moves on my PKAs, no. So yeah, market was playing around, and I believe a little bit later, there we go, we dropped. So I was holding, market pulled back to my entry again from being over 600 to 700 in profit, pulled back to my entry. And so I went down to a lower time frame, about 5 minutes, just so I can make sure I'm seeing it better, or 15 minutes. Just so I can make sure I'm seeing it clearly. And as soon as I feel like it was going down a little bit more, I was ready to close. So I decided to fast forward all of this because, quite frankly, I really was trading like a maniac. I was buying, selling very impulsively. I was in a meeting and just looking at what the chart is doing briefly and thinking, oh my God, follow. And I was just impulsively entering. So I literally was doing that for like 3 or 4 trades, and I just had to stop myself. I'm going to fast forward it because it really was stupid. And you can see me later talk about how I was trading like a maniac. I felt like I was trading like a maniac because I felt so impatient, I felt so impatient. So like I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm just clicking buttons. And so kind of needed to just take a step back and shift focus a little bit and just, I'm trading like a maniac. And I put the text and I'm trading like a maniac. So I just waited a little bit. I just kind of needed to step away for a little bit and giving myself anxieties. So at this point, I'm like, okay, find a good point of entry. So my support line is there 99.9% of the time. It rejects off of that, and it usually would use it as a point of resistance. So I knew if I wanted to trade again, I would just set my limit there for price to come to me. So that's what I did. I set the sell limit for price to come to me. But here's the thing. I knew I set it right on time, right? But it was kind of weird because it was like, it looked like it didn't activate, but it did activate. And price kind of, I guess it took time because of the craziness that's going on. It took time. Everything was kind of slow to update. It was kind of weird, but I let it just kind of run. And look, we are 18, 19 points in profit. And I believe this went down to like 28 points. It was beautiful to see. 1 second. Let me see if I can bring in. So I'm trying this thing where I try to show you like the live of what's going on in Rhythmic at the same time. It's not perfect. I'm working on it. This is my first time actually trying to capture rhythmic at the same time as what's going on in Ninja, so I can see what's going on with, like, as my balance is going up and down as the trades go. The alignment is a little off on that, I think. But I'm gonna try. Here I thought, okay, this drop is insane, and it just passed my support 1. It usually has a reaction to that level, so I was expecting it to pull back up to at least sub-0 up there. But no, price said, nope, I'm just gonna keep on going. So yeah, this one, when I realized price wasn't gonna do what I thought it would do, why am I buying in a selling market? I don't know, leave that to me to figure it out. But yeah, it usually reacts at those levels very, very strongly, and pulls back a little bit. So I figured it came below, let's test that pullback. Nope. So I closed, cut my losses early. I closed, and I decided I'm just gonna sell with it. And since it's 2 contracts, we ain't tripping. Let's sell. So I entered the sell and actually followed the market direction. And again, just because I was doing a lot of this back and forth, quick sell, quick buy, close, this is why I said I was trading like a maniac, because night lug, I could not pay attention. I could not, and I should not be in the market. I was in before, but as soon as my meeting started, I should have paused. Like, I should have stepped away. I should have, shoulda, coulda, woulda, nada, all this shit. Didn't do. Nah, did none of that. But yeah, so finally decided, okay, let's play this right. I'm gonna take a sell. So I see price pull back a little bit right there, and I wanted to sell. I waited for it to kind of do its thing, and I set my sell limit right at my support 1 for 2 contracts. And at this point, I set my mind, I was able to focus a little bit more, so I'd set my mind that when price tags me in, I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Like, yeah, I'm either taking a pretty decent loss, or I'm gonna let it run till I get what I need. 233.17 is where I can start to bring that video in. So now I set my sell limit. And this is my first time, guys, trying to show you guys the real time of what's actually going on inside Rhythmic as the account balances go up and down versus what's going on just in Ninja Trader. So bear with me if it ain't perfect, but yeah, it's kind of behind, but yeah, that's what's going on in Rhythmic at the same time. I'm gonna try to... Anyway, price went against me for a little bit, I think over $500-600, and I was ready for it, because when I set that limit, I'm like, I just need to calm down, reduce my risk. So I started using 2 contracts, and just let price do what it's gonna do. And it came up way past my entry. And well, I just held, because now I'm actually able to pay attention to what the heck is going on, which I keep saying that, but I can't. It's like right next to each other, and I'm working and I'm seeing price move, and it's kind of like, how do you really not touch it? You know, discipline. I'm working on it. I'm laughing at myself because it's truly something I'm working on. But yeah, here we see price go $500-600 against me, and then it decided to just drop. So at this point, notice I changed from dollar amount on the screen to actually points. Again, it was messing with my head. I didn't want to deal with all of that. So yeah, I decided to change it so I can just see the points. Even though I can still see the price on the top left, I wasn't looking at it. This was just easier for me to deal with. And so I did. And lo and behold, not long after, price started dropping, and I mean dropping. Okay, so I'm struggling to kind of align the timing of rhythmic versus this. It's a bit of a struggle, but it is what it is. But I mean, I was ready to close. The price went about 20 points against me, but it didn't. So I think that's worth noting, because again, I'm a little more aggressive, careless, maybe a little towards evals, because at this point they just are what they are. They're my way of having fun. PAs become boring once you start to kind of manually, consistently go through the process. So let's see how this goes as we pass this new eval. Apex has a one-day sale, guys, so please, if you are watching during this sale, I'm going to put my code at the end of the video and try to put it in the beginning so you can maybe make some money, save some money from your purchase and get a one-day pass. Please support this ittle bitty small channel yeah, by using my code. And so here in a little bit, we're gonna see price start to melt and sink and just drop. And again, if I was using 5 contracts with this pullback that price did, I would have been out. I couldn't handle it. And then so I'm glad that I decided to just kind of calm down a little bit and use 2 contracts. And I was able to handle the drawdown. So yeah. And as price started to kind of come back to entry, you can see rhythmic is a little bit behind, but it's still in line. And yeah, price decided to melt and sink and just go down, down, down. And as soon as that happened, I think we caught a good 20-something points. It was beautiful to see. It was real beautiful to see. By the way, this final drop is literally happening within the last 1 minute of the hour and the first 1 to however many minutes of the new candle. That drop was insane. Look at that. 28 points in, 1,000 plus in profit. I'm at 52.9. I was ready to close 30 points, 32 points, 34 points, and boom, I closed. But guess what? I closed and my balance was at 52,999 for one of them. What a karma. What a B word. That really triggered me. I'm like, I think I gotta go back in again. So I decided to sell another 2 contracts, and as soon as I was 1 or 2 points in profit, I wanted to close, but I had to give it room so that by the time I hit the close button, it would actually update. And there we are at 53,055 and finally closed at 011. That's why I let it go up 3 points before closing. And we are done. 3 evals passed, and now I'm waiting to get paid from Apex so I can use that money to convert these into PA. But once I convert it, then next week we're gonna be trading the PAs and trying to pave the way for a nice payout in April. Well, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching and to listen to me ramble. All done, as my kids say, all done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and support my channel. Thank you so much. Bye. currently at 217.44. At this point, I'm noticing that, okay, price was going to head back down and I wanted to take it for a sell. So I decided to take it when it goes up a little bit more. Around that 383 was supposed to be my entry, but I'm also working, so I'm very, very distracted this morning. So I didn't want to stop loss. I didn't want to deal with a tight stop loss anymore because I felt like it was no more harm than good. And since I was going to be able to be here, I just took everything up and just entered the trade for a sell 5 contracts. And at this point, I knew I was going to play around a little bit. And then it finally started to head down my way. It dropped. So I really wanted to, I feel like I was here. Really, I shouldn't be trading at this time because I'm 99%, actually ever 100%. I'm in a meeting almost every day at this time. And price started to head my way. I saw it dropped a few points. I changed from dollar to points because I feel like the dollar amount was messing with my mind a little bit and I needed to see it in points to really not freak out, if that makes sense. So as price is still playing with me, going up, going down. Honestly, I wasn't worried at all at this point. I wasn't really worried because I knew that I was still expecting price to sell. It didn't seem like it wanted to close bullish to me. I just didn't know how far down it was going to go. I wanted to just get mine and get out, but it's playing with me. So at this point, my mind is thinking, as soon as it goes down a little bit and I could get 1,000 off of it, then I might as well just do that. It would have been nice to hold, but I was in with 5 contracts, no stop loss. It would have been reckless. And I'm hovering over the close button already at this point, ready to close as soon as that move goes down just a little further. And I'm watching it, seeing how it moves or how it's moving. Moved 18 points. Really beautiful drop for me from my entry. And I closed as soon as I felt like it was pulling back a little bit. And then I went into Rhythmic to kind of see what my balance was saying versus how much, like my highest peak balance versus where my current balance is, because, if price goes down and then pulls back and close, you lose some because you're still trailing. So because of that trailing drawdown, I was kind of curious as to what my balance was. And I could see right here that it wasn't too bad. Actually, I only closed with just approximately $400 less, right? Approximately $400 less than it should have been. So I knew I still needed a few grand to close, so to pass. So now I decided to just be less crazy. I felt like I was kind of trading like a crazy person, a maniac, because I was just, at this point, I'll look left, in market will do something, and then I want to get in, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's not the right time. Be patient. And I can't be patient because I'm mostly listening to my meeting and I have to talk. So I was trading like a maniac, I felt like. And so I put the text on the screen that I was trading like a maniac, 227. And then I put the text on the screen that I felt like I was trading like a maniac. $224.15. At this point, I'm pretty sure I felt like, okay, it was pretty clear. Price wants to go down. But I mean, there's like a tug of war going on right now, but price does want to go down. So I decided I should just trade this seriously and just go down to 2 contracts. So I put a text on the screen saying that I am trading like a maniac because I couldn't talk at the time. And just because I know, like at that point, I just didn't know what the heck I was doing. So 225.07, I decided to enter a sell to contracts. I knew it was gonna pull back a bit, but with the momentum, I figured price is it's gonna head down nicely. Price seems to want to go down, and so I was actually in my mind targeting my support line sub O right there if it gets there. But price be playing yo-yo. So I figured I'll wait for it to pull back a little bit and then enter. So that's why I closed. I'm like, wait for it to just pull back a little bit towards the low of the previous candle and enter. But no, it didn't do that. Price kept, y'all know when I'm asking for price to sink, like just drop sink. Yeah. And that's why